If you have been anywhere on the internet, you've seen Cody Ko's videos, and he is currently in a lot of hot water right now for some allegations that Tana Mojo is making against him for hooking up with her when he was 25 and she was 17. There's a ton of evidence against him. I have loved Cody's content, his podcast, his music. So this was a little heartbreaking for me and a little, I'll say it, like it was hard for me to believe that this is the case, but there is a lot of evidence. I've watched a couple of videos. The one person I've been waiting to report this is Ludwig. I've always said this. I think Ludwig is one of the most ethical reporters ever. He tries to get to the truth. He isn't trying to say what he needs to say to get the views, to get people to click, to get people angry. He solely is like, I'm going to ethically report and figure out what the truth is. And that's why it took him so long to come out with this video. And I was like, I want to react to this video. So very interesting title thumbnail combination. It says TMG Studios. Hi, everyone. I am leaving TMG Studios and Noel is taking over. Sincerely, Cody and Noel. This looks fake. I think it's just for the thumbnail, but it does say in the title, Cody Ko finally says something.
The title of this video is not clickbait. After almost 2 weeks of silence, Cody Ko has finally responded to the allegations. Now, this all started about 12 days ago when D'Angelo Wallace dropped a very informative video talking about the allegations against Cody Ko.
Let me know if it's too quiet for you guys.
Allegations that allege he had sex with a 17-year-old when he was 25 years old. You might have heard of this by watching this original video or someone else recapping it like Charlie, because those have gotten millions and millions of views. I haven't talked about it yet, even though people have been asking me to, because simply put, I said I was waiting for a response from Cody, and we finally have it. Again, it is a small response, but we'll get to it in just a moment. First, if you haven't seen that stuff, I'll give you a quick recap on what happened and then the fallout since the news dropped.
I'm glad he waited. Hey, we don't know until that person comes out and says something. Until that moment, and don't get me wrong, Cody taking so long to say something about it, bad, very bad sign. But I'm very much with him. In my opinion, you can't ethically report it until you've heard both sides.
It originally started from this clip that I think spread all over TikTok from Tana Mojo's live canceled podcast. That's the name of her podcast, Canceled. And somebody asked her this question here.
Who's the smallest dick you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko.
You know, which would already make some waves. People would be like, okay, I get the podcast name right. You know, it's no longer ironic, but it's what she says after that started to trigger some alarm bells.
Delete the videos. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What?
She says, I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. Now, if you don't know that she was 17, is what she's alleging. He's 8 years older than her.
Is he? The answer for that question was fast for Tana. It was a little too fast.
Makes
That's a
him
rough
25 years old. And she goes on to expand on another episode of her podcast, Canceled, later on, after that clip went quite viral a month ago, and says this.
And however, I understand that this isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Yeah.
And
We'll get to that in just a moment.
I've tried to talk about this a million times. I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25. Yeah, it happened. And I think that
Plain cut, simple. Like a first party account, sex requires two people, one of the people in that situation saying it happened. Now, she does go on to say that she doesn't feel like a victim, but sometimes she thinks of it from the perspective of like if that was her little sister or, you know, like someone younger who she knew, and she thinks about how weird that was. Now she's reaching the age Cody was for Cody to have done. You know, and I know I think of that sometimes because like I was in high school and there was girls in my high school who date like people in college, and then sometimes people out of college. And like at the time, like, you know, I was fucking mad about it because I was like, why are you dating older guy? You know, what if you date one of the high schoolers? And then when I reach that age, you realize how fucking
This is such a crazy tangent.
weird it is to not.
Okay, it has a point. It has a point.
Graduated college by 3 years, dating a high schooler or high school aged girl. That's why.
I think there's something wrong with you. If you're in college or out of college and you feel the need to date a high schooler, there's something wrong with you, dog. Like, why don't people your age want you?
That's a wild thing to do. That 8-year age gap is like at the peak difference in like social norms and a lot of shit. But beyond it being maybe like a morally weird thing to do or whatever, it is a crime. Like she said, it's statutory rape, the non-forcible sexual activity in which one of the individuals is below the age of consent. And I believe the two places where this could have happened was either Florida, where the age of consent is 18, or California, where the age of consent is 18. Either way,
I think it was confirmed that it was Florida. Not that it really matters, because either way, even if the age of consent was younger, you shouldn't. Just because it's legal doesn't mean you should. I want to specify here, because he hasn't mentioned it, Tana is an extremely controversial figure. If you look back, like, there's videos of her saying the N-word. Like, a lot of people don't really like her because she's kind of a lot, and like, she definitely has built a lot of her brand off of controversy, hence her name of her podcast being canceled. So I think one thing he's not necessarily touching on here is a lot of people aren't supporting Tana because of that brand image that she's created. So I think that's part of the conversation as well, is like, if she didn't have as much evidence as she does, I honestly don't know if I would necessarily believe her, but she has so much evidence, and the fact that people are just throwing away that evidence because it's Tana is pretty wrong.
you cut it, still a crime. 17, less than 18. Simple math there. And this is around the time that it was to have happened. This is 2016. They were doing some collab videos at the time, Tana and Cody. And I'm not going to force you to watch this video. You can check it out if you want, but it is excruciating. It's basically a lot of yapping, some flirting. And then Cody, because he is a different generation than Tana, asking her to teach him like young teen slang and using shit like no cap or low key, which is weird, right? When the video is about their age difference and bridging that for them to have at the same timeline hooked up. Now, a lot of people might think the defense.
I have not heard about that. That is so true, bro. Yikes. Big yikes.
Well, he might not have known or whatever. All right. They were alleged to have hooked up at, like, I think Playlist Live, some con or something. Maybe he didn't know. But this is a big part of D'Angelo Wallace's video, is that he definitely knew, if we think correctly, that Gabby Hanna is referring to Cody Ko. I'll play the video.
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside, and I was like, hey, man, you probably don't know. I know she, like, looks a little older. She's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh, my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
And then they hooked up. And that, you know, if it is any indication, was followed up by a tweet from Gabby Hanna that said, everything that is hidden will be shown and everything that is secret will be made known. This is right around the time, again, this all started dropping. So it's like, feels like she was talking about Cody Ko. Now, Cody didn't say anything for like the first...
I'll say it. My brain went to this too. When at first I heard that Gabby Hanna, the girl that like has a meltdown every year on the internet, was the person, I was like, hold on. And then when I looked at the evidence and saw that there was like a video in the past and that lining up literally perfectly, there's no way she isn't talking about Cody there. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Unfortunately, yes, Maverick. How she quoted the guy doesn't sound very Cody, I won't lie. Yeah, a video in the past is solid evidence. It's not just the video in the past, but it's the fact that that video lines up. There is a clip of Tana being like, Gabby literally told him not to. So there's this like, oh, here's this clip of Gabby and here's Tana saying that clip applied to her. And because that clip's so old, it's pretty obvious that it happened.
First week, he wasn't seen. He didn't post anything anywhere. That was until he made his first public appearance, which was at a DJ set at the Encore in Las Vegas. And that went...
What? Are we sure this clip is real? I feel like out of anybody, Ludwig would know.
Really viral because he's playing fucking Sorry. he's playing Sorry. I mean, there's a whole DJ set. I'm sure the DJ set was great, but you have to look at the irony. That DJ set was about 6 days ago, about a week ago, and after that, still nothing. So no response. And of course,
okay. Here's the thing. Do I think that was intentional? No. But the fact that he's DJing and acting like everything is fine is just, that feels wrong. That feels weird to me.
So the title of this video is talking about his response. So what's the fallout? Since that all happened, all those very credibly seeming allegations, right? Cody hasn't come to refute any of it. He hasn't come to apologize for any of it. What has happened? Well, first off, he's lost a lot of subscribers. All right. People are finding out about this. They are not happy about this. I think Cody had a very like high percentage female audience.
250,000 followers in 30 days is crazy.
A very left-leaning audience, an audience that wouldn't stand for this happening. And because of that, went from 6.23 million subscribers down to sub 6 million subscribers. I passed him in subscribers because he went down. That's crazy to think about. The hundreds of thousands of people. He also was famed because, you know, he reacted to a lot of the button videos. And at one point, even got to voice the button, which is something that me and Cody had shared. Watch good old button reacts. But he was in better favor because, you know, again, they had hired him to do several videos where he voiced the button. I voiced the button. I voiced the button again. I believe he voiced the button with his wife at one point. All those videos have been removed from Cut. Cut basically deleted every single video with Cody Ko off the site. If you look it up, does not, oh, Jesus Christ, does not exist anymore. Does not exist anymore. Shorts are gone. Videos are gone. Yada, yada. He also runs a podcast network called TMG, Tiny Meat Gang. Now, that hosts his own podcast, but also other people's podcasts. One of those groups, Enya and Drew, who run a podcast called Emergency Intercom, left. They said, hey, everyone, we wanted to make a post to express that we are moving the podcast to be produced independently by us. So in the meantime, no episode this week while we figure out the best plan forward. Thank you for your understanding and patience. And that was about a week ago. And then today, just a few hours ago, it finally dropped. Hi, everyone. We want to start by thanking you all for your patience while we're working to figure out the best path forward for the studio. We know it's been a very strenuous few weeks for everyone, and we really appreciate your willingness to bear with us. Now, this comes from TMG's website. This is not paywalled. I think there was maybe some original paywalling post, but this is not paywalled. I double-checked. You are the most creative and incredible group of people. It's talking to the people who are subscribed to TMG. We feel so lucky to work with all of you. TMG Studios is what it is because of you. I believe this was sent out as an email to people who work at TMG originally. We couldn't be more proud of the incredible roster of talent we're privileged to work with, yada, yada. And then it continues. As we enter into the next phase of the studio, we wanted to let you know that Cody will not be involved in the day-to-day operations at TMG. What has transpired over the past few weeks is a personal issue for him, and Cody wants to remove any effect this is having on your professional and personal lives and the work you and our other hosts have done to make TMG Studios so successful. So this is a letter addressed, to the people who work at TMG. Noel will continue to lead the team. His top priority remains the life and growth of the studio and this talent. Our audiences see your hard work every week, and we want to make sure that's continued. Sincerely, Cody and Noel. That's it. They're an actual signed letter written by Cody and Noel, where he...
The vibe I'm getting from this is it just feels fake. They're never going to come out and be like, yeah, so we think that Cody did this, so we're going to kick him out. They always have to use business lingo. Now that we're moving in the next phase of the studio, no, this is you being like, please don't leave us, wee woo. Cody is no longer going to be a big part of the studio.
He is not getting fired from TMG, but saying he is stepping down to basically not hurt the studio anymore, right? They already lost one show. I'm sure some of the other people who host shows are like, okay, well, you know, what's happening? Because they haven't uploaded any videos, all right? Not just their own podcasts, but other people's podcasts in a couple weeks since it's all kind of went down. Cody has left TMG. He is gone from TMG. He could maybe come back. They didn't exactly say he lost all his ownership or percentage. But as far as right now, he is gone from TMG. Noel is at TMG. That is the only thing people have heard from Cody. Perhaps a response in a larger fashion is going to follow. I don't know, but that's where we leave off. So thought I'd just make a little update now that there's some more information. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Not an insane development by any means. It is good to see the studio making some sort of move, but I just feel like this is further sweeping it under the rug. With the Dr. Disrespect stuff, the studio was like, he's no longer a part of us. We're kicking him out. This just kind of feels like hey, he's not going to be involved until this all blows over. In a very business professional lingo way. I feel like Noel was low-key calling him out for being weird for a while, though. There's tons of clips clips on him saying big age gaps are weird floating around. If you guys have that, send that. I think it's really important that they didn't say like Cody's fired or Cody is no longer associated. Cody is no longer an owner, which it's probably super complicated, but there's something that you can do.
The fuck? Do you imagine being 25 sitting in classes pretending you're 16?
God damn, dude.
Just learning about like the periodic table and shit.
Oh my god.
You're like, yeah. Oh, gold. Girls being like, hey, you're on varsity, right? And you're like, oh, listen.
I can't
Listen,
talk
this
to
is
you.
this
isn't a good idea.
I'm here for business reasons. Okay, what the fuck?
Cody saying that is crazy. There's a bunch of older clips of Cody Ko resurfacing, but this one might be the craziest yet. Like the fact that he described it as dating younger people, while Noel Miller says assaulting children is so. Oh,
Seinfeld got away with it.
Yeah.
I was just kind of sitting there, like reading like just one of those tweets, and I'm like, how is it that like when people get rich, like that's like top 5 things they get caught doing?
What, dating younger people?
Just assaulting children, or like just like I mean that's like. Oh,
huh. I would have never put that together. I wonder if Noel knew. In case you were somehow neutral about Cody Ko's situation, the second screenshot and video are the 2 things linked in the post in case the post gets taken down. He dated a high schooler. I've religiously watched Cody since Vine and have a vivid memory of him dating a high schooler. Him and his frat friend group would hang out with a bunch of teen girls and they'd sometimes appear in his videos. There was one girl he'd be with one-on-one in his Vines, which people speculated he was dating at the time. I remember looking into it and was surprised to see she was like 17 since he was in his mid-20s. He still follows the high schoolers on IG and they're in his old YouTube vlogs. Feel like I'm the only one that remembers. I think I do know what you're referring to. Do you remember her name? I remember her having darker hair and someone making a joke about them and then them kissing in a video. Evie Blackburn. Her friend is at Riles and she appears in his old vlogs. Wow, Evie's page is private, so I went to Riles' page to see if I could figure out how old Evie is, and there's a 19th birthday post for Evie in May of 2016. When did Cody and Evie date? It was definitely around 2014, 2015. I went to high school with both Evie and Riley, and this is 100% true. I followed Cody on Vine and thought it was cool. Evie was dating him. Didn't know how old he was at the time. Plus, as a high schooler, you don't realize how weird this shit is. We were definitely around 16 to 17 at the time, either junior or senior year of high school. Don't have any proof other than a high school yearbook with her and the Vines of them together. But when TMG got big, I did the math on the age difference and thought it was weird as fuck. Damn.
Oh, it didn't work.
Kinda.
Fuck. Damn it. Whoa. If you would just say something that would just make everything better. Like, I feel like I'd feel more conclusive on like how I should go about this, but like I mean he's not uploading, but I feel like damn, I can't watch any of his shit anymore. Like until he addresses this in a way that either there's something that we don't know or he takes responsibility for his actions, like I can't really support him.